Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is a Dollar Tree wood truck planter, and it is really big. I have wanted a truck planter ever since Target put out their itty bitty ones last year. This one is so big, and if you look online for wood truck planters, they start anywhere from $100 to $150, at least the ones this size. So I love it. Not only can you use it for spring, you can use it for summer, for winter, put your little Christmas tree in there. So you can use this all year round. And I really hope that you enjoy this video and stick around by subscribing to this channel. Once you hit that subscribe button, we instantly become best friends.
Did we just become best friends? Yep!
Go ahead and hit that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are set to all so you know every time I post a video. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with two 6x8 canvases from Dollar Tree, as well as two 8x10 canvases from Dollar Tree. So 4 canvases in total. I'm going to go ahead and remove those staples and the actual canvas part itself using my upholstery staple remover. I got this tool at Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the two, but it makes this process a whole lot faster because those staples are actually really in there. You can skip this step if you want and just use the staples in, but I like that it looks bare. So I'm going to use these giant craft sticks, which I purchased at Walmart. I'll leave the link below in case you want to buy them online because they are a little hard to find. But the Dollar Tree giant ones aren't quite big enough, which is why I went for these. And since they bring 45, you actually do have enough to make 2 of these if you don't add a bottom piece. So with 5 popsicle sticks, I'm going to start attaching, but I'm going to cut them down slightly so that they fit nice and snug. And then I am just going to make sure that I glue them all in place. I added some weight to the top because these do kind of curve a little bit, and then I went ahead and did the same thing to all of the canvases. For the smaller ones, I did have to cut the popsicle sticks down. This was really easy. I just grabbed a ruler and I made my markings and then cut it down. You can also just put the popsicle sticks on the bottom, put the canvas frame on top and use that as a ruler. But this is really simple. If you've seen my tutorial on how to make the Dollar Tree crate, these are the exact same steps, and you can go ahead and save the rest of the popsicle sticks that you have left over. So now that everything is completely attached and you have all of your canvases covered in popsicle sticks, it's time to attach them together once they are completely dry. For this, I took my larger canvas, put it against a wall, and then added a generous amount of glue to the smaller canvas, pressed it against each other, and made sure to add some weight. After that was dry, I flipped it over and I took my other 8x10 canvas, making sure that that was up against a wall to use it as a leveler, added a generous amount of glue, and let that dry really well. Once that was dry, I took my smaller piece, the 6x8, added glue on both sides, and then flipped my pieces over. This is the easiest way to do it for me, and this is kind of how I like to make boxes. Now I'm going to flip it over and add more popsicle sticks to create a bottom piece. If you don't want to create a bottom piece, that is totally up to you, but since I am going to be putting flowers and stuff in this, I thought it was important. So I cut it down and then glued it in place and made sure to put some weight on top like I have been doing for the rest of this tutorial. If you've seen my crate video, these are the exact same steps. We're just going to take a Dollar Tree crate and create it into something more. So once that's dry, I'm going to move on, and I'm using 4 bamboo cutting boards from Dollar Tree. If you cannot find these, you can just make something with the Tumbling Tower games in the same shape, or you can use this fairy door, which is in the kids section. The back is stainable if you want something that is completely wood. It's up to you. There's a lot of options at Dollar Tree. For this step, it's going to be the exact same thing. We're going to use Gorilla Wood glue to make a box shape. But for this one, I did use a combination of Gorilla Wood glue and hot glue, since hot glue does dry pretty quickly. I didn't mind if this did have a little bit of bulk, so I just went ahead and did the exact same thing, added both of my pieces, and then once everything was nice and attached, I took my last piece, added the wood glue to both sides of that, and then flipped everything over on top of that and let it dry extremely well before moving on. So once it was completely dry, this is what I was left with. You can secure it with some nails, but I wanted to add a little grill, so I used some leftover popsicle sticks and I covered that front part up. So I made some markings using a pencil. Since the side is nice and straight, it's really easy to make your mark on where you're cutting it down. And then I grabbed some scissors, cut down 4 pieces, and hot glued that into place. Now you can use the Gorilla Wood glue or whatever glue you want, but I wasn't sure if I liked the grill or not, which is why I'm just using the hot glue for this step. So now I'm going to move on to make my little Jenga pieces, and I do use 3 boxes, but some of these pieces that I make are optional. I'm going to make a little square. So it should be shaped like this, kind of like the Christmas ornaments we made last year, but I'm going to add an extra one up top and I'm going to create 2 of these. So once I remove it, I'm going to attach them using my Gorilla Wood glue, and I'm just showing you one. I don't want to show you how I make each and every piece because that would be a very long, boring video. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything together. And once everything is together, let it dry really well and make 2 of these pieces. Usually when I have clumps of glue like that, I leave it and I just sand it down later. Now for the rest of the tutorial, I'm just going to take the width of one of those pieces, which equals to 5 Jenga pieces, and I'm going to make a little column for the top so that it looks like a truck, and you'll see why. So I take 5 Jenga pieces and I make 3 rows, and that's going to be my top piece. I'm going to attach them the same way I attached all of the Jenga pieces and just let it dry and create my second piece. Now the second piece is optional because this is what I use on the hood just to give it a little bit of dimension, but that's up to you and how many Jenga pieces you want to use. So now I have these 2 pieces, and I actually ended up doubling up the second piece up just to give it a little bit of height, and I'm going to add that little square that I created earlier on each side. And this is what's going to make it look like a truck. So I'm going to let this dry really, really well. And once it is completely dry, you can go ahead and use it like this, or you can use it like this and create a top piece. It's up to you, but I'm going to use it like this. And then I grabbed some more Jenga pieces. So I used 6 pieces in total, and that's just to kind of finish off the top right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue everything together. So I'm going to take this piece right here and glue it to my crate. And this is going to be really, really easy. We're just going to attach it. You can either attach it like this or like this. It's up to you. I like it like this. So we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier, which is a combination of wood glue and hot glue. Make sure that you're adding a really generous amount because this is really important that it stays in place and that you're getting it nice and straight. This is what it should look like. I left it as is while it dried, and now I'm going to add the pieces that I created using my Jenga pieces. So this is why I created that little end piece so that it looks put together. And I think it looks really good as is. If you want to sand it down just to get rid of those harsh edges, you totally can. It's up to you. I went ahead and used Dollar Tree adhesive to attach everything. When everything was finally dry, I decided to paint it using this apple barrel paint in the shade turquoise. You can of course stain it or leave it as is. As is, I think it looks pretty cool, but I really, really wanted a pop of color and to disguise the fact that I used bamboo boards. So I went ahead and only painted what would be the front, the top, and a little bit of the side because I really wanted the crate and the grill to still be natural wood. This is what it looks like, and I think it looks really cool, but to add some more detail, I added a front and back bumper, and I just attached 2, 4, 6, 8 double Jenga pieces, and I spray painted that with metallic spray paint. And once it was dry, I went ahead and hot glued it just in case I didn't like it, so I can pull it off. And I think it looked really, really, really cool. I love the fact that the metallic spray paint wasn't shiny. And now to the wheels, I used 2 packs of magnetic tins. But to save some money, you can definitely use jar lids or candle lids, totally up to you. And then my favorite part are these wood cutouts. I love them. I think they're so cool, and as soon as I saw them, I knew that they would make a perfect wheel. So with a really good set of scissors, I cut off the extra little pieces, and I ended up spray painting this entire thing silver just so I get the detail in the middle. So right now it's looking like little tomatoes, but once it's spray painted and on the metallic tin, it looks really good. I decided to sponge paint some color onto the metallic tins. Now I didn't want it to be too dark or too light, so I ended up using pewter gray. You can use a lid or not, but I liked the lid option in case I changed my mind about the wheels. So I just sponged on some color. I know that this isn't going to cover completely because this is metallic, but that's why I did it, because I like that it looks like there's some color peeking through. I also painted my little wood pieces with that same color on the sides so that it looks like wheels and you can see those in the background, and then I hot glued them onto the lid. I did one more coat of the gray paint just to make sure that they're nice and covered and that they kind of match the metallic tin but not too much. And then when everything was nice and dry, it was time to attach to my truck. Now you can go ahead and measure this out. I kind of eyeballed it, and I used hot glue in case I changed my mind on what I wanted to use for tires. So I just went ahead and kind of used the door as a guide on where I wanted it. And for the crate part, you can actually see through it. So when you flip it over, you're able to position the tire in the same place. So now I'm going to add some headlights, and for this I used these glass gems from Dollar Tree. I gave them the same blue edge and hot glued them to the front just for a little bit more added detail. And when I was done, bam, I had this beautiful blue truck that can be used for any season. Just pop whatever flowers you want and you've got a really cool custom decor piece. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Share this video with a friend that you think might enjoy it. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.